Julia, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, just share with us your story.
Hi, Louise. How are you? I'm really so glad to be here. Love sharing stories and us being around other women. So my story started with a divorce. So I was married to what I thought was the perfect man. He had a great career. In fact, I met him in the same career myself. Um, and it got to a point where I had to leave. Basically, the wife is always the last to know. I'm not going to go into the details. And I found myself with no money. And I went from living a really nice lifestyle to absolutely nothing with two young children. And I I thought to myself, oh my goodness, how did I let myself get into this situation? Because I'm a finance professional, and if I'm having trouble, how the hell is everyone else coping? So, needless to say, to cut a long story short, I went to court, represented myself, won 92% of our assets, which is basically unheard of, created case law, and now I teach women about money to strengthen our place in society and to help us make sure we always have choices and never find ourselves in positions like I did.
Yes, like that is so, so important because I know a lot of us do, and I have heard of a lot of women that find themselves in that situation. So what you're doing is it's really inspirational and it's so needed. And I think it's just, kudos to you for representing yourself as well and setting a case study, was it you said, or case?
Case law, like I'm in Australia,
Right.
so yeah, we have. I set a new precedent basically because usually women don't get that much.
That's amazing. Yay for you.
Yeah,
That's great. I mean, it's not yay that you had to go through that, but
yeah,
you had the strength to do it. And I think that's brilliant that you're sharing it with other people and other women as well. Um,
yeah.
so I know why you're so passionate about it, and thank you for sharing that story. I know it's probably, it's pretty tough, but I think it's really needed out there and really inspirational. Now, I know you had sent me a quiz that I was a little hesitant about it because it's like, oh my gosh, and you said I was the first one to be hesitant about it, but when we talked about the results, and I think it's just amazing, and you said a lot of people have done this quiz, right? And found it to be really helpful. So tell us just a little bit more about it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So this quiz is what I call a quiz to find out what your money personality is. Because believe it or not, everyone has different ways of dealing with money, and the conflict comes up when we don't understand why other people make the decisions that they do and don't think the same way as us. Once you understand why you make the decisions that you do and what your underlying values are with respect to money, you can also identify your challenges, and you can set up guardrails in your finances to ensure you never sabotage yourself. So, if we go through your results, Louise,
No, I'm
you
just kidding.
were an alchemist, a nurturer, and an accumulator. So the alchemist is the kind of person who is very idealistic, and quite daring, and they just want to change the world for the good. They have a lot of ideas and they champion others and see all these possibilities of how they can positively influence the world. For them, though, money gets in the way, and it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, and they just wish it would go away and they don't have to deal with it. And the nurturer is somebody who loves to care for other people, but sometimes it gets to the point where they care for others too much and forget to put themselves first, because if they don't look after themselves financially, they can't care for other people. And then finally, the accumulator is basically the inner banker. So that is somebody who is quite comfortable with saving money, and they're quite frugal with their money. They're not tight, but they like to be careful about where it goes, and they don't necessarily, they look into deals without just blindly just following sales pitches. And so the accumulator also has a problem possibly in the fact that they could hoard their money and not spend enough to take advantage of opportunities to expand their ability to earn more income, like say investing in yourself in courses and things like that, to invest in your business and your income. So does that make sense to you, Louise?
I know people can't see me, but the whole time you were saying that, I was nodding my head, just going, oh yeah, that is so like, when you got to the last bit, the accumulator, I was wondering if it's because I'm half Dutch. No offense to Dutch people, but when you're saying that we're tighter with our money, we used to joke about my dad having deep pockets. That kind of like, it was just a joke in the family because we're half Dutch. That means we're I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, so our cultures play a big role in how we manage our money as well, and all the stories that we hear growing up. And so my job is to help you to understand why you make the decisions that you do, and to align with the true values that you have for money that open you up to new opportunities and make you feel good, and to let go of that resistance to receive more money, otherwise known as money blocks. Have you heard of money blocks before?
Yeah, I have for sure. And I think the other thing is I've never really thought about money this way before. So it just takes a whole different spin on it, because you can kind of beat yourself up sometimes going, why do I feel so bad with money? And you feel guilty. And if you kind of put it into perspective the way you have and explained it, it really makes a lot of sense to me now. And it's my whole personality. So I think it's really useful to find this, right? And with the money blocks, is that like a different
yeah
block?
So the money blocks, so say as an alchemist, one of the blocks a lot of alchemists tend to have is that they feel judgmental about money. So they automatically have a negative connotation attached to money. And so if you imagine how much easier life would be if you could remove that negative connotation and make money something that you look forward to dealing with and talking about and attracting into your life. And you remove that awkwardness. So it just makes everything so much easier. And money is energy. It's all just, it's like the ocean. It's the tide coming in and coming out. And if you try and stop it, you're not going to be in flow with abundance, and you just end up making life difficult for yourself. So if you can let go of these blocks and step into your strengths, which are being idealistic and transformational and daring, but you let go of that judgment of money and you just welcome it in, that's when synchronicities happen and beautiful opportunities come into your life of abundance. So if we look at that and the underlying stories, let go of them, and then I usually bring in some Feng Shui as well into my clients' prescription, if you will. So which is all about not only their surroundings of their interior design, but their wardrobe, like the colors you wear, the fabrics that you wear can definitely influence your mood and your personality, and also your habits that you do. So if you put those things together and then you add in the traditional finance tools that I have as an accountant, to automate your finances and make it so that everything is decluttered, if you will, life just becomes so much easier, and money doesn't have to be hard. So I am very passionate about, number one, helping women to look at their money more positively and to actually take care of it and not just wish it would go away. And then to, find new opportunities to make money. And when it comes in, to know how to look after it and how to put it to work for you, if you will, because money loves to work. It works 24/7, even while you sleep. And once you understand that and you work out how to do it, that's when you can truly build intergenerational wealth, which is what we all want, right? As women, we want to provide for our kids and our family, and money means safety for women. It's very different the way men look at money.
Yes, I think that's it's really, and I think it's a new movement kind of thing. And I know when we chatted, you had mentioned that only 40 years ago, I think, did you say that
Yeah.
women can open a bank account without their husband's signature?
Well, yeah, women up until the late 70s, women weren't able to, in Australia anyway. I'm quite certain it's was like that in the States and Canada as well. Women weren't allowed to open a bank account. Apply for a credit card without their husband's permission. This is even if the woman was the breadwinner. I mean, that's not that long ago. So we are really the first generation that has had equality in terms of the legal side of being able to manage your own money. So if you look over the last sort of 6,000 years of civilization, it's such a small part of that time that women have had control of their own money. So really, it is quite new to us culturally. And there's a lot of fear around money because in the past, the men have always controlled it. And nothing against men, it's just the way it was, you know. But times are changing, and I really do feel passionate about helping women to feel confident to talk about money and ask questions with their partner about money if they have a partner, and also to earn their own money, because once you have control of your own money, or you're equal in a partnership when it comes to money, and you contribute to the financial decisions, even if you're staying at home and you can't earn money, as long as you are contributing to the decision making, that makes a huge difference. And it's the same as love. You can't expect one partner in a marriage or a relationship to do all the loving and caring, and the other person just gets to be grumpy all the time, like, or ignore it, you know, and pretend they don't need to be affectionate. It's the same with money. Everyone needs to participate. It helps your self-worth to know that you understand it, and it's really not that hard. I think we've all just been trained to believe that it's a man's domain, and it's not. And in fact, not all men are good at doing it, and we need to supervise it, really.
Yeah. And be part of it, like you said. And I think it's becoming more and more popular to talk about it now as well with women and money. So I think we need to talk about it, and we need to take that anxiety away from it, and take the block that we have with it. So I know that you have created a program called Money is My Lover. I love that name. It's so cool, right? Just put a different thing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you're making it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then it's not something so scary. So tell us a bit more about that program. Like, does that go deeper into taking away those money blocks, going more into those personality types as well, or how does it work?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, you hit the nail on the head just a second ago when you were saying about money brings up anxiety for a lot of people. Whenever there's stress or anxiety, like there's been studies done, and it shows that if you're stressed, your IQ drops by 50%. You can't make good decisions. So if you take away money stress from your life, you're going to make better decisions in life, and therefore you're going to have a better life. It's something that everybody can do. You don't have to be super intelligent or anything. You just have to pay attention to it. And so my program, Money is Your Lover, is all about personifying money as a person. And so if you can think about in your relationship, how you treat the money in your life. So Louise, if you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I
Nope,
will
that's
anyway.
okay, thanks.
Because that just makes for great chatting. So if you were to personify your money, what kind of relationship do you have? Like, is it like some kind of, if it was a guy, how is he? Does he like you back, or are you mean to him, or what's the situation like?
Oh, wow. That is such a great question. Now I have all thoughts going through my mind. I think, oh, good thoughts, of course. I
Yeah.
think I'd be mean to him, and then I'd kind of come back, like it'd be up and down. It'd be a really
Yeah,
love-hate relationship. It would be,
which
yeah.
yeah,
I think that's,
which makes sense because that's the alchemist. So having that love-hate relationship, you see. So if you can take that out and you can care for him and make him feel wanted and needed, um, and thank him for being in your life, he's going to want to stick around more. But if you don't treat him nice, or you ignore him, or you get angry at him, or you judge him, um, he's not going to want to be around you. He'll go find someone else to love. So it's like that. So my course, it's 8 weeks. So the first 6 weeks is about money mindset, which is the most important part, because it's just like when you want to lose weight or you're dieting. We all know what we need to do. You just need to eat less and exercise more. But we don't, do we? We just, because
no.
it's all up here between the temples. It's like 80% money, just like dieting. It's 80% mindset and only 20% mechanics. So I spend 6 weeks in this course giving one-on-one coaching sessions online to help women to better connect with their money and improve that relationship, to transform it so that they can start to actually look forward to dealing with their money, to welcome it into their life energetically, and open new doors and see opportunities. So it's like when you want to have a baby and you can't seem to get pregnant, and then you see everywhere you look, all you see is pregnant women. There were the same amount of pregnant women around, 6 months ago, but you just didn't see them because you weren't focusing on it. So it's the same with money and money making opportunities. If you can open your mind to seeing these new opportunities, because we remove the money blocks and those old stories and judgments about money, you see new opportunities, and then you 10x your income very quickly. And then once we've done that for the last couple of weeks, then I teach you how to manage the cash flow side of your money and automate it so that you can allocate certain portions of your money every payday, or every client who pays you a certain amount goes into saving and investing. A certain amount goes to providing for your holidays and fun things and bills. And you never have that money stress, because it's like decluttering your money. And you just streamline it and you just take all the worry out of it. No more late fees for things because everything's paid on time. And I also teach you how to invest, because investing is how money makes money while you sleep. So whether it's investing in your own business, so that you can have a scalable business that makes money, say for example like courses and things that makes money while you sleep, like digital products, or it's investing in the stock market and things like that. I used to look after some of the wealthiest families in the world in terms of wealth management. So I know what I'm doing. And money's not that hard. It's just buy and hold for like 10 years. There's none of this gun-ho like Wolf of Wall Street situation where you just buy, sell, buy, sell. That's just in the movies. Like money's actually quite boring. You just buy and hold, and and then the dividends and the growth just keeps coming and compounding, and before you know it, you've built your wealth. like it's a tried and true formula that all the wealthy people know, but for some reason it just doesn't get taught in schools.
That's really interesting. And
Yeah.
what I love is that you're bringing it to life. Like you're making money. Like I'm sitting here going, "Ooh, I kind of like this money thing now," and I feel like I want
Yeah.
to know it a bit more. But you're kind of giving it this whole personality, and it's like and taking that stress and anxiety out of it. I love that. No, I had a question. When you're helping, is it people who are just in business, or is it they could be stay-at-home moms? You help them as well. Is it kind of everybody, every woman you can help with this program, or?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I think every woman can do with help because, let's be honest, everyone needs money, and it's not something that you can just pretend doesn't count, because it does. It helps you to live a life of choice and freedom ultimately. So if you don't have a business and you're just at home with your kids like that, there's plenty you can do as well to get your money moving, right? Everyone has their gifts, and everyone has a purpose to be in the world. And say, for example, with me, I've been a chartered accountant and in wealth management for so long. And then when I left my husband, because I'd been out of the workforce for a little while, I thought, oh no, I want to do something different. I want to go into interior design. So I went and got a degree in that. And then I started a business in interior design. And the whole time, people just kept coming to me asking for financial advice. But to me, that wasn't anything special, because that's what I did my whole career. And I just figured that everybody knew how to manage their money. And I felt guilty charging people to help them with that. And it wasn't until I got into all these different money personalities and understood that everybody comes at money from a different perspective, how I could actually really help people, because I could simplify the process, talk to them like a regular human being, not a finance professional, which is just a lot of people, don't resonate with people like that. They just want somebody who's on their level.
Yeah, that could be
So
quite scary
yeah,
and
and
intimidating.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I found myself, I just thought, why am I trying to reinvent the wheel? That was my money block, because I'm also, I have one in my top 3, I have this concept called the ruler. And the ruler is an empire builder. And it's just work with them. And for most rulers, one of their ways they sabotage making more money is because they think that making money is supposed to be difficult. And to me, teaching people about finance came super easy, and I felt super guilty about charging people for something that came so easily to me. But money is supposed to be easy. Why are we making it so hard for ourselves? So I finally ditched the interior design business, started Love Luck Wealth just this year, and the synergies have been amazing, and it is so easy, and my clients are so happy, and it's a real joy to be doing something that I love and that comes so easily to me, that I always thought that people thought was boring. But I try to bring in some excitement and make it sexy and interesting, because it's really it's a beautiful thing, and it can really empower your life, and you just have to pay it a little bit of attention.
Yes, you're definitely making it interesting for sure. I think your program sounds amazing. And I know we talked about there's a Feng Shui
Oh yeah,
part of it. Did you learn that from your interior design or?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
This
and
was
because you,
part of my journey.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
you're
it's
bringing your
part of
whole
my
personality into it. So I think that's also,
yeah.
yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah. So that was part of my journey when I got divorced. So it was really hard on my children. They were only very young, like 2 and 3. And so it was a real shock to them, especially not 2 and 3, 5 and 3. My 5-year-old was having a lot of trouble. He couldn't sleep. He was seriously depressed. I was at my wit's end. As a parent, that's not what you want to see. And so I came across this book quite randomly on Feng Shui. I had never really heard about it much before, but it something piqued my interest, and I started reading as many books as I could on Feng Shui. I became obsessed with it, and then I also did a qualification to become certified in Feng Shui in the United States, and then I applied it to my son's bedroom. And overnight, the change was amazing. Like, he wasn't having nightmares anymore. I got him to set out some goals, and like one of them was to be captain of the school rugby team. He'd never played rugby before, and he'd always been in trouble at school because he was one of those kids that's like the alpha male and just always the class clown kind of thing.
Yeah.
And by the end of that year, that first year that I started Feng Shui, my son was announced as school rugby captain for his rugby class, and he'd only just started rugby. That was his first year playing, but this is the power of energy and alignment. And once you believe things are possible, things shift. So part of the Feng Shui component of my Money is Your Lover course is I help people to understand what their dominant elements are in terms of water, wood, fire, earth, metal, and then when we're out of alignment, because ideally we need to have all of them in sync, right, in order for life to be perfectly aligned with heaven. So without going into too much detail, because Feng Shui is a very deep topic, but basically I help people understand what their dominant elements are, and then I rebalance them by giving them a personalized 5-week prescription. So every week they will have to apply maybe a different color to their wardrobe, or wear red lipstick to add a bit of fire or something for a whole week. Or if you need more water, actually take a bubble bath every night for a week, that kind of stuff. And then rearrange your surroundings. There's all sorts of things you can do without buying things to just rearrange your surroundings to help the energy to flow better. To swap around some artworks. You'd be surprised how much your surroundings influence you. It's all quantum physics, and we're all energy. Like even the furniture, it's all atoms, and if you look at it close enough with a microscope, you'll see everything's moving and everything's interacting with each other. And so the theory is, if you can align all of that, you have massive shifts in your life in terms of financial abundance and luck and that kind of stuff. So that's the luck part of my business. And at first I was trying to keep all of that part hidden because I thought maybe it was too out there for a lot of people. But everyone I've spoken to finds it just as interesting as I do, and not everyone has heard of it. So I love introducing people to all this new stuff, and because there's so many different ways to do money. It's not just finance, it's energy. And if you can shift your energy and apply financial tools, oh my God, your whole life shifts. It's amazing.
Yes, I love that. And I think that's why that kind of answers how, or what I was going to say to people is, why are we talking about this on Inspiring, Calm, Decluttering, Organizing? And that just ties in so beautifully, right? Because that's what we want to do, is declutter our life. And it's not just of stuff, it's also of brain clutter, it's of money, but it's creating that energy. And I totally love that. And I think people will just really feel that energy from you, or you can hear the excitement. It's just,
I'm super excited.
It's
I could talk about this for days.
Maybe we won't do that today, but that's why I think it's really neat, because you take it as you make it fun, and you make it a personality, and you make it like actually really exciting and enjoyable. I'm even really loving talking about it. And I had my blocks too. And I'm like, okay, we need to chat more about this later.
Yeah. Everybody has blocks. This is the thing. And it's nothing to be like are frightened of or ashamed of. Even millionaires have money blocks about becoming billionaires. There's always another level. So it's useful to everybody. So like you were saying though, decluttering is so powerful. And in Feng Shui, that's always the first tool that I use for my clients is decluttering, because so many shifts can happen, and you can declutter not only physically but energetically and electronically, like with your email box and your
Yes.
text messages and voicemails. It's just magic. And you don't knock it until you try it, because what have you got to lose? Like, just have a go and just watch. And over the next sometimes it's instant, like before you've even finished the decluttering. Sometimes it takes a few days, but it comes. One of the first time I decluttered my house, because I just learned about space clearing. So I did my very first space clearing with sage and crystals and things in my house. And I set an intention for financial abundance. And I kid you not, before I had even finished the last room, there was a knock on the door, and I went to go and answer it. And there was a guy there with a camera. He was a photographer. And he's like, I know this sounds really weird, but like, we really love your house and we want to film a commercial here. Would you be interested in us doing that? And we'll pay you $3,000 for like
Oh.
half a day. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my
But
goodness,
like,
that's awesome.
old me would have just gone, oh my God, like I would have shut the door on him and gone, you're crazy. Like, go away. Like you just want to come into my house. But once you open your mind up and you start trusting the universe and you think, oh my God, the universe wants us to be abundant. We are here to grow. We are not here to be stifled and feel shame and feel bad about growing. Money, just like, a seed and a plant, and it wants to grow and flower. Same with humans, like stopping yourself from reaching your full financial potential is not a good thing for anybody. Like, so many good things can happen from opening your mind to more money.
I love that story. That is really cool. Hey, like, and I
Yeah.
think when you said that the universe wants us to have abundance, I love that. That just really kind of jumped out at me. And I think some of us attach that having money is, that I'm kind of going old school, I guess. It's you feel greedy, you feel like
Yeah.
there's those negative things there. So I think this would be amazing. And because you're all about the energy and the whole roundness, as I was saying, of the complete
Yeah.
package. I
Yeah.
know we just talked about decluttering and aligning, but what I'd love is, what are 3 things that our listeners can do right now, or maybe once they finish listening to us, that would help them get
Yep.
started with creating or get a more aligned with their wealth?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the biggest thing, of course, is to look at your wallet or your purse. How are you treating your money? Is everything just shoved in there? Like, are all the notes just crinkled up? And do you have old receipts just down the bottom? And like, um, are there, like, in your handbag, is there like, rubbish and bits of old lollies and stuff from the kids? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised
Junk,
once you look at it.
basically, yeah.
So take a look at how you're treating your physical money that you use every day. And yeah, clean it up, man. Just like, get rid of all the stuff you don't need. Streamline and declutter your wallet to allow more money to come into it. I always tell my clients to go and get $100 note, and make sure you always have $100 note in your wallet, so that every time you open it, you always feel wealthy. You don't use
Oh, I
it.
love
Like, you
that.
just have it there. You could have 5 if you can afford it, but like, it's just, it's a change, a shift in perception and a shift in energy. And then when you open your money and you've had a bad day or something and something didn't go well, and then you go to open your wallet and there's this $100 note in there, and you just remember to be feeling blessed, because there are a lot of people out there in the world who don't have even $100 to their whole name. So things like that, like being grateful for your money, is awesome. And then also I would suggest that you streamline your payments. So if you have a lot of subscriptions and like electricity bills and whatnot, things that come every month, streamline them and automate them so that you don't ever have another late fee again. Because late fee, you may as well just go and throw that money in the gutter, because that's what you're doing, because you're not paying any attention. So you can even take it a step further and shop around and go onto those online comparison websites and find out if you're getting the best deal for your electricity. If you're not going to the gym, cancel the gym membership and just start going for a walk, if you're not reading those subscriptions or don't need them, delete them. You can always put it back on later, but all that stuff adds up. The late fees and the subscriptions you don't need, it all adds up. And if you can pay your money a bit of attention, you'll find that you can save money. So that brings me to the last one, which I call the treasure hunt. And so if you want to start a savings account or an investment account for yourself or your kids, you always want to start with at least $1,000. And I know that sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but you'd be surprised how much money is just lying around your house. So look for spare change in the car and around the house and convert it to start this bank account. Look for some, you probably have old checks lying around that you'd forgotten about. You might have pieces of furniture or artwork or something you don't need anymore, or plants in your garden that you don't need. You could sell them online and just, even if you just make $20, $50 here and there, it all adds up. You only have to it's only 10 lots of $100, right? You just break it down. It's not that much. And I'm sure you can find stuff like that around the house, or you can, do a few odd jobs or something, or there's always a way to make $1,000. Just do it, try. And you'll be shocked at how easy it is. And then you'll start that account, and the pride that you'll have and the elevation of your self-worth and your wealth consciousness will in itself attract more wealth to you. It's all energy. And once you feel wealthy, you have to feel wealthy, even if you don't have the money, before more wealth can be attracted to you.
Yes. Yeah.
So step into the feeling, even if you physically don't have it. Imagine what it's like to have the wealth that you want. Set an intention. I'm going to find $1,000 this week, and you will. You will. It's that powerful.
Yeah, I love that. And I would love it if people actually let us know how many people take on this challenge after they listen to this podcast, right?
Yeah.
They find their first 1,000. Because I know I've helped quite a few clients declutter their home, and there's gift certificates. You could use and then put the money for that gift certificate into the account. And they always go, oh, I forgot about that. And I think I've had one person was about $750 they found. And they're like, "Wow, this is like Christmas." So it can be done.
You'd be surprised what's lying around. It's just we just have to wake up to it. Basically, it's about awakening your wealth consciousness and feeling like I deserve wealth and money's going to come to me. If you find $1 or on the ground, pick it up and say thank you. Don't just step over it. The universe is trying to help you. So always be thankful, always pick it up. If you feel awkward picking it up, pick it up and give it to somebody else. There's always a busker or something on the side of the road, somebody who needs it more than you, and give it away. It's an energy, and it's a shift in your perspective. And once you shift your perspective, the transformation is huge. And you just find so many good things coming into your life.
Yes, Julia, I love that so much. And the 3 tips that you've given us have been fantastic, and everything else, of course. But I love it that listeners can take away those 3 things, get that actioned straight away. And this is really, it's inspiring having it, looking at a different perspective and really putting it doesn't seem so scary after all.
No, it's not scary.
That's a good thing. And what I'll do is, if anybody, well, actually, you could tell us now, how can our listeners get hold of you? Just to quickly say what social media and
Yeah, so my Instagram and Facebook handle is the same as my website page address, which is just Love, Luck, Wealth. So that's my Instagram and Facebook, and it's just at .com on the end, loveluckwealth.com for my website. And you'll find lots of free resources on there, and I have a blog on there, and you can find out about my courses and money sessions. My clients are all over the world, mainly in Canada and the United States. And yeah, it's just, money's a beautiful thing. So, you can give me a free call as well. There's all those kind of links on my website if you just want to find out a little bit more and get a little bit sure about what it is exactly that I do.
Excellent. And if you just want to shift that energy a little bit, of course, I'll put all the links in the show notes too. So if people are missing that, aren't able to write it down, so they'll be able to get hold of you.
Yep.
And I know, Karen.
Sorry, I was going to say, they can also do that quiz that you did, the money personality quiz, for free on my website.
Yes, I highly recommend it. It's really, really interesting. I loved it. And if they want to, if they can message you as well, if you're okay with that, they can DM you.
Oh yeah, please just message me on Instagram or there's or Facebook, and there's also a contacts page on my website.
Beautiful. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Julie. I really, really appreciate it. I loved it. It's really inspiring. And I know our listeners are going to get so much value out of this. So thank you so much for being with us, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Louise. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for listening. And I wish you lots of abundance and luck and wealth in your life. Bye.